Du vendredi avec tout nom. Mon ka promettre pour drapeau Dominique avec République indépendant qui représenter. L'amour moins, commitment moins, avec talent moins, en service Dominique avec les autres citoyens même comme moi. Mon ka promettre pour travailler bien word pour aider bâtir une nation prospérité avec la paix.
For all the fun and serious updates, information on Dominica, live radio streaming from DBS, and more. Log on to www.dbcradio.net. DBS, the nation station.
Domlec is keeping you updated as we work to restore full generation capacity. Join us every Monday and Friday at 12 noon on DBS Radio, Kyrie FM and Voice of Life Radio, and at 12:30 p.m. on Q95 and DA Vibes for updates on our progress for more reliable and efficient service. Tune in every Monday and Friday.
Okay, on that note, we say good afternoon to Adina Bellot Valentine for another Domlec Port Talk update right here on DBS. And, of course, simulcast on Kyrie FM and all the other radio stations. Adina, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Kim. How are you?
I am doing good, thanks. It's Creole Week, so we are really into our independence season.
All right, nice. How was up and wine yesterday? It wasn't rise because you were up already.
Well, not for me. Not for me. Not me.
Were you there, Adina?
Me? Oh, no. I was up, but certainly not whining. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to our listeners on DBS Radio, Kyrie FM, Voice of Life Radio, and of course, a little later on DA Vibes and Q95 as well. Thank you for tuning in again this afternoon as we continue to bring you up to date on where we are as far as world load shedding and capacity management program is concerned. My guest this afternoon, Daryl Dalrymple. Daryl is our acting general manager. He is also our restoration coordinator. Daryl, how are you?
I'm fine, Andina. I'm doing well.
You're good? You were a little bit under the weather last week. You feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling better. Still a little, rattle in the throat.
I can hear.
I'm much better than that.
Continue to drink the tobacco, okay?
Okay.
Daryl, we just came out from the effects of the passage of Hurricane Tammy. Most of the effects were felt from late Saturday into Sunday. How did we fare out with the passage of that system?
Yeah, the system stood up well, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
Generation wasn't affected at all.
No.
We had 1-2 transformers getting damaged around the island that created some outages to our customers. Many of them will quickly return to service with the exception of one that we are working on in Roseau North. A small section of Roseau is out because of that. The lightning took down at least 2 feeders. We had to delay their restoration because of the inclement weather. We didn't want to call this to cool and scout, etc. But the system fared well, I must say. Minimal interruptions to the entire transmission and distribution network. Where we had interruptions, they were quickly restored, as I said, with the exception of 1 transformer in Roseau that we are working on now, trying to rectify a circuit. Well, not really the transformer, but the circuit got messed up, and we are trying to repair that circuit presently.
All right. Thank you for that update. Tammy has come and gone. Persons are not interested in what was, but what is to come. We have been in load shedding mode for quite a while now, Daryl. We have not been, thankfully, load shedding for the last 5 days. Take us up to speed. Where are we at this time?
Okay, Adina. Sometime last week, we engaged the services. Well, let me just backtrack. We had 1 unit out at New Trafalgar. That was a 1.75 megawatt unit. It wasn't out totally, but we could only do at least just about 50% of that unit's capacity. Prior to Wednesday last week, we engaged some specialists from Andino Engineering. These are persons who actually manufactured those units. They came down to give us some assistance in rectifying an issue we had on one component of that hydro unit. It's referred to as a needle. That's where the water comes through, falls on the runner, and turns the turbine. So we could only do 700 kilowatts on that unit. After the repairs, we could do 1.7 megawatts. So we got an additional 1 megawatt of electrical power, from that unit. So that placed us in a better position to to manage capacity and load on the system. And we haven't been load shedding, not only because of that, but we have been requesting the very large customers to come off the system. The financial center, the government has been playing the part likewise during the day that they have been self-generating. In addition to the traditional ones the customary ones that we have had coming up the network to free up some capacity so that the other customers, the domestic customers, could have their power likewise. So the hospital and the port and ACS, etc., they have been giving us some good assistance. And besides those, we have been calling on other large customers to give us some assistance in terms of freeing up capacity so other customers could enjoy having electricity likewise. So that has assisted us really in curtailing severely, in a very serious way, the load shedding that had been going on over the past weeks prior to the past 5 days.
Darren, what is the status of the rest of the hydro? We've spoken about NT1, which we've been able to repair and have it on full load. What about the rest of the hydro, and what is the status of the situation of the lake? What are we seeing at this point?
Okay, the status of the hydro, we can start with the lake. We have seen some good levels at the lake. It's the last I checked, it was about 6.7 meters. So that's just a point about 1.3 meters below the spill level. So that's good news. All the other units, all the other generators at the hydro, they are available with the exception of one unit, Nutrafalgar number 2. That's what NT1 Nutrafalgar number 1, NT2 Nutrafalgar number 2. And that's the units that's presently unavailable. Besides, all the other units, to include the PADO units, are available to generate. And the good thing is we have some water that we can use to ensure that these units are operated to their full capacity and hence assist us in reducing the load shedding that we have been experiencing.
What about our diesel units, Daryl? I noticed today that apart from maybe one or two that have been down for a while for repairs, all the units are up and functioning. What are the status? What's the status of the diesel units both at Funkale and at Sugarloaf?
Well, we have 2 units that's unavailable. One, it's out due to some major maintenance that this unit is presently ongoing. We had a hiccup with that unit in completing the major overhaul on that unit because of a delay in receiving some major spare parts that we have been awaiting for some time now. Those spares are now available, and we await the technician from the company who manufactured those units. We call them the MAN units, MAN. He will be on island somewhere about 4:30 today, but today for sure, to recommence the major overhaul on one of those units at Funkale. We know that we had a major mishap with one of the units. That's one of the very old units, 30-something years old. And I'm very doubtful that we would be able to restore that unit. We will have challenges in getting spare parts for those units, as we have been in the past, to get spare parts for this Wärtsilä unit. It's a real relic. It's a really, really old unit. And that's the only other one. But besides that, we have some work that we need to do on other units to bring them up to full capacity. So we have been working at to ensure that the units that we have, they are capable of taking us through the festive season. And we will do all that we can to ensure that load shedding is either eliminated, it's ceased for that period, or it's minimal, because any major unit that we may lose now, it could put us in a compromising position whereby we would have to do some load shedding. But one of the good things, though, the rain, what it has done, it has lowered the temperatures significantly. So that too is allowing the thermal units, the diesel units, to function much more comfortably, much more efficiently at the loads that we are loading them to now. So we have to give the Father thanks and praise for that rain, because it has also assisted by lowering the ambient temperatures and allowing those units to operate more comfortably at the loads that they are now operating at.
And yes, Dan, that's where I was going. I mean, earlier I said that we had not done any management of capacity for that, at least for the last 5 days. I had persons on social media already saying, but where's the schedule for this week? Thankfully, again, today, we have not been able to do any load shedding. This is the festive week, Darrell. We have a lot of visitors on island. Persons have come down for the festive season. What assurance? I know for the last couple of weeks, we've been working with the independent schedule, and where we have activities that we know of, we've tried as much as possible not to have to put them off during the time the activities are being held. This week is a jam-packed week, so to speak. The activities all over the island. What assurance can you, as the acting general manager and the restoration coordinator, give to persons on island that we are not going to impact their activities?
We have been very vigilant as it relates to our maintenance activities, ensuring that we really do what we have to do to ensure that the units we have available remain available for the coming festive season. If we can do that, then I can be quite comfortable. I can say, I'm in a comfortable position to say we can do what we have done over the past 5 days. Something hinges on that, and that has to do with the large customers that we have been calling on consistently, and they have been really, really cooperative in getting off the grid. And as I've said earlier on, freeing up some of the capacity that we can serve other parts of the load. This coming week, we are going to be even more aggressive. I've spoken to the system control supervisor such that we can look at other customers, large customers that we can call upon and really ask them to really go off the grid, especially during the day when the load is much higher. If we can get that cooperation from those large customers, I feel pretty comfortable that what we have done over the past 5 days, we can do it for the next few days to come, to include the festive season that we are looking at, particularly the weekend to come.
Ariel, you are very confident, and I trust your judgment. I am sure that we can do this as a team. Our guys have been working, round the clock just to ensure that, we keep the power on. It is a team effort, all hands on deck. All departments play a major role in ensuring that the power is maintained to the customers. And I'm sure that with the assistance of the large customers who we have been calling upon to go off grid, that we will continue to do our best to maintain the power. As you rightfully said, it could be a little volatile, or we never know if something is going to happen. If one of our big machines break down, the situation changes. The situation changes. But all things being equal, we have been able to keep the system steady for the last few days. We are hoping that, it continues to remain like that. If we probably get some more rain, but I know that persons who have come here to enjoy the festive season certainly do not want more rain. So I think maybe, Dari, we can safely say that we have gotten all the rain that we can possibly get. But no, yes, we would like to have the rain, but we know that persons have come down to enjoy themselves. And but we will, as you indicated, try our very best, to maintain the system, to maintain the power, particularly in areas where there are going to be activities that we are aware of. And so we will do our best to ensure that persons come down and enjoy themselves. Daryl, your final words before we close up?
Yes, I must, and I will not cease from commending some workers we have at Domlec who have really been dedicated to the task. I mean, they understand, the situation that we are in, and when they are called upon to go the extra mile, that they are there. And the employees, both in the generation and the T&D department, I mean, they have really been dedicated to the task to ensure that we serve the public. And I just want to again commend them for that and ask that they continue in that same vein, particularly over the next few, probably 2 weeks into November, when we'll have this, all this celebration going on. I also want to say thanks to the large customers who have cooperated with us, because we really need them to get over that hurdle. So I just want to extend my thanks to them on behalf of Domlec for cooperating with us to ensure that we get through this festive season without having any load shedding.
I have one more question, Daryl. I know I said that we were wrapping up, but I have one more question before you continue. You mentioned the large customers who have cooperated with us over the last few weeks and months, probably, in trying to maintain the supply. How soon, though, are we looking at ceasing that kind of arrangement in terms of, constantly having to ask our large customers to get off the grid to help us out?
That's always a challenging question. The company has some plans. We are looking at bringing in some rental units, a 3 megawatt rental unit that will really give us a very, very good cushion. When that unit is commissioned, I am very, very confident that we will be calling on those large customers less frequently. We intend to have that unit commissioned somewhere during the second week in November. So when that is done, we will be calling on them less frequently than we are doing now. So yes, things will get better, Adina.
There is light at the end of the tunnel, and yes, rest assured, of course, as we indicated, we are working to ensure that that we can keep the power on 24/7, and then we can be a reliable and efficient utility that we've once been known for. And I'm sure, of course, we will get back to that stage. But Daryl, thank you so much for being my guest. It's always a pleasure to have you. Whatever it is that you do for the season, please do enjoy and stay safe. And of course, we ask our customers to remain safe out there as well. Secure your property and your premises before leaving your home. Remember, safety first. You've been listening to Domlec's program, and on behalf of all of us, have a safe and enjoyable day, and of course, an enjoyable independent season. Daryl, thank you so much for being my guest. Have a good afternoon.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Domlec is keeping you updated as we work to restore full generation capacity. Join us every Monday and Friday at 12 noon on DBS Radio, Kyrie FM, and Voice of Life Radio, and at 12:30 p.m. on Q95 and DA Vibes for updates on our progress for more reliable and efficient service. Tune in every Monday and Friday.